A 1, 2, 3. Hello everyone, welcome back. I'm Ben. I've got another Fret King Country Squire model today, and it's a beauty. Look at that, candy apple red. This is the Fret King Country Squire Stealth. I love this colour, it's great. If you've seen me do videos on the Country Squire models before, you'll recognise this shape because it's the same shape, but this one has got some fairly unusual tricks up its sleeve, which is why it's called the Stealth model. Before we get to that, we'll start with all the specs and all that kind of thing. As I mentioned, candy apple red finish. Very nice, very nice. This is not a real F-hole. It's a solid guitar. This is just an applique kind of decoration F-hole. It tricked me when I got it out of the box though, until I picked it up, because it does, it weighs more than a hollow body guitar would. The binding, I really like the binding on here. The body itself is a 3-piece body, American alder, 4-inch centre block, so classic construction. It's got this really nice 4-bolt neck joint which allows great access to the upper frets. I really like it, it's very comfortable. The neck itself is also very comfortable. Hard rock maple, soft C profile, very cool. Indian rosewood fingerboard, 25.5-inch scale length. Up this end, I really like this this kind of coloured front on the headstock, looks very cool. And Wilkinson tuners, great hardware as ever across the Fret King range with the Wilkinson stuff. The bridge, again, if you've seen me do the Country Squire videos before, you'll know that I love this bridge. It's a Wilkinson bridge, steel, but it's got these, it's a 3-saddle kind of classic construction, but it's got compensated saddles on there. And it just works really nicely. The insulation's great, it's nice and solid, and I'm a big fan. Now, the pickups. The pickups on here, you've seen these single coils here on a couple of other Country Squire models, I think. In the bridge, we've got the tapped 50, and in the neck, we've got the Country Roads. They're both designed by Trev Wilkinson for Fret King. They're Fret King pickups designed by Trev Wilkinson. They sound great. The tapped 50 has got the Bukkacoil. So if you don't know what the Bukkacoil circuit is, basically, as you turn the Bukkacoil circuit up, which is on the middle of these dual concentric knobs at the back there, you're bringing in more windings on the pickup. So with it turned all the way off, it's kind of a classic 50s style single coil bridge pickup. And as you bring it in, it brings in more windings, which ups the output slightly. But what it does mainly is kind of change it just gives it more kind of beef. It makes it punchier. It does make it a little bit louder and just kind of makes it a bit fatter, kind of modern sounding. It's really great, actually. It's a nice sound. The Country Roads, really nice neck pickup. Love it. The stealth aspect of this guitar, which is pretty clever, when you press the master volume, which is a push-push button, it engages 2 Bukkacoils, which are underneath the pickguard here, which are extra coils which turn the single coil pickups into hum cancelling pickups. So very useful if you're in a noisy venue, but it also changes their sound a little bit, which I'll demonstrate very shortly. But what it does is it does turn them, I guess scientifically it turns them into humbuckers, but they don't sound like traditional humbuckers, but it gives them a little nudge in that direction. So I'll just play it. That's the easiest way, isn't it? Rather than trying to talk about it. So we'll start on the bridge pickup with the Bukkacoil circuit all the way off. This is the tapped 50 on the bridge, master volume all the way up. Bukkacoils not engaged. How's that sound? Great. I've used guitars with this pickup in, a different. I think I used the Country Squire model on a gig. It was great. It was great. It sounded brilliant. The Bukkacoil circuit was very useful because it did this. Let's hear how it sounds when I fade it in. So you hear there that it did just kind of fatten up. It brings the extra windings, bring in a bit more kind of low end oomph. Very scientific. Let me turn it off again and I'll bring it in so you can hear again. So if I do that with it turned off. So it does make a big difference. And being able to kind of bring it in gradually is a really nice thing as well. Let's hear how that sounds with the Bukkacoil in. So I'm going to turn the Bukkacoil off, turn the Bukkacoil on while I'm playing a chord. So here it is off, I'm going to turn it on. Off again. So it's a subtle change, but it does. I'll tell you what, I'm going to turn the Bukkacoil circuit up as well, because I think it makes a bit more of a difference when that's turned up on this pickup. So you can really hear it there when the Bukkacoil's all the way up. I'm going to start again with the Bukkacoil off and on. Subtle but useful, I think, is the how I would describe that, particularly for recording stuff. I can see it being a very useful thing for there. Let's move on to the neck pickup and then we'll listen to them both together. So the neck pickup is this Country Roads. Really like this pickup. It's great. It does all the kind of nice things you want a neck pickup to do. The Bukkacoil control doesn't affect this at all, this pickup. The Bukkacoil does, but we'll start with that turned off. And here's how the pickup sounds. I really like this style of neck pickup. I think it works well for a lot of the kind of styles of music I play, which are generally the kind of more rootsy end of stuff. And this is a nice example of it. Let's hear what the Bukkacoil does to it, because I like that too. So. Again, it's subtle, but it is nice, and it does, it does useful stuff that I would use, particularly again in recording. Let's hear how this all sounds with both pickups on. So the middle position of the switch. Bukkacoil off, And this is another really useful time for the Bukkacoil circuit. I'll tell you why in a second when I've played some stuff. So here is just standard Bukkacoil off, Bukkacoil off. Fell apart a bit at the end there, but the sound was good. It works well for that, you know, that two pickup thing. But let's listen how the Bukkacoil circuit affects it. So, and that up. Yeah. So I prefer it with the Bukkacoil turned off in the middle position, but I prefer the Bukkacoil kind of pretty much all the way on when the bridge pickup is on its own. So that's why I like the Bukkacoil circuit, because you can vary stuff. Of course, you can vary stuff, but you can have that kind of extra little control over two pickup settings on this guitar. Anyway, let's hear how it sounds with the Bukkacoil as well. So without, but this is with the Bukkacoil off. Okay, so. On. So it makes a big difference, the Bukkacoil, in this this position. Back on. And off. Interesting that the Bukkacoil has such an effect on the middle position, but I like it. I'm not complaining at all, because it's, again, subtle but useful and usable. I would definitely use that sound, that middle position particularly, I think, and the neck position maybe too. I'm going to play out now on a whole variety of them. I'm not sure what I'm going to do yet, but don't forget to click like and subscribe. All of the specs are down below. Let me know what you think about the the different tonal options on here, and if you've got one, let me know how it is to gig and all that kind of thing. If I have a gig coming, I might sneak this one out, right? Yeah, lovely, and I really like this colour, candy apple red, very cool. So that's it, the King Country Squire Stealth with the Bukkacoils, the Bukkacoil. It looks cool. It plays wonderfully. The neck on this is really great. So let's see what I can come up with, shall we? I'm going to start on the neck pickup with the Bukkacoil circuit engaged and see what happens. All right. bit carried away there, didn't I?